League of Legends Wild Rift. It's a game that I've kind of kept my eye on for a little while, sort of bringing the game officially of League of Legends, the game that's really popular on Twitch, for some reason, onto the mobile market. There are hundreds of videos explaining, quote, how to download the game, but they haven't really focused on a different issue, why I should download the game. And that's the question I really hope to tackle today. Should I download the game? Why should I? But first, if you haven't already, consider subscribing and joining my Discord, code right there. Trying to hit a goal of 25k this year, especially by summer. Is it at all possible? I don't know, but consider subscribing and join my Discord. Now, I suppose the lens we want to look at this from, my lens. My PC is an absolute potato. My phone is too, but less so, compared to the PC especially. So I'm looking at this from the very casual, yet very interested mobile game lens. And quite honestly, from that lens, I actually enjoyed the game. And this is someone who's almost deleted the game because they ran out of storage on their phone. I've pretty much enjoyed what I've done so far. Maybe 3 or 4 PvP matches and the tutorial, and that's pretty much it. But let's get on with should you download it. First and foremost, there is a massive storage problem when it comes to downloading this game. Well, I guess storage problem because I still have a bunch of clips saved up from so many updates ago, from years ago even. This game is 2 gigabytes, plus more once you download the game. It's going to ask for an additional update. I have an S7 which I downloaded it on, and it was incredibly slow to download. Maybe my phone is just slow, but once hopping onto another device, it worked much better. But then again, this is also consistent with other games which also load very quickly on that device, but slower on the S7. Now, the tutorial is okay-ish. I mean, it kind of explains the mechanics of the game. I did get a rough gist of what I'm supposed to do, especially from someone who hasn't touched the game League of Legends on PC in years. The tutorial did give me a good refresher on what I'm supposed to do, and especially as a new player, it kind of gave a good refresher on how to even play the game, what you're supposed to do, what your objective is, what path to follow, especially stuff like that. Now, quite honestly, I don't think the tutorial was 100% that in-depth. Like, I was still very confused about what my character was supposed to do and why certain zones worked the way they did, as opposed to sending my character to other different zones. But some of that stuff you kind of have to learn playing the game, I guess, is the best way to describe that. I felt I got a lot more out of playing the game in actual multiplayer zones as opposed to playing the game in the tutorial or against bots, because actual people are always better than actual bots. And especially in the beginning, when everyone's so new. Granted, sure, there's going to be that very advanced player who knows what all the characters do, who knows what all the skills do, and knows exactly what to do in terms of the game, but because right now there are so many new players downloading the game, most matches are filled with noobs who really don't know what they're doing, like myself, who honestly make the experience of learning the game that much easier because you're not fighting, you're not absolutely gonna get stomped in your first match. Obviously, if you do want to party up with friends, you can do that in this game, which I thought was really cool. They had that on mobile. Wish other games like LDUE could do that better, but now, comparing this game to PC with my very vague memory and also looking at a couple of articles online, this game is much more of a fast-paced game in terms of actual playing and actual gameplay and stuff like that. The matches move a lot faster than PC matches. I've heard on PC matches, one match can last a few hours even, but on mobile I was done with maybe 15-20 minutes at that. It wasn't terribly long. Is it one of those games you can really just pull out while you're waiting in a very short line? No, probably not. You're definitely going to get interrupted there. But is it one of those games that you can whip out when you've got a very long time ahead of you and you've got nothing else to do and you're just looking for something to entertain you? Yes, this will definitely fill the time. I definitely will say that. Potential, I'm definitely going to hit a lot more on this in the conclusion. In terms of pay to win, I guess, since a lot of my LDUE audience especially is concerned about the ideas of pay to win. League of Legends, I mean, from what I remember, it's not that big on the pay to win side, but more recently with the recent changes, stuff has been increasingly more controversial with regard to pay to win, especially from doing one Google search. So far, the mobile market does not look openly pay to win, although I'm not sure if they're going to incorporate some of the PC sides, get people so outraged online into the mobile side. But for now, especially since there are so many new players, you're going to find a bunch of new players who don't spend any money. As a free-to-play player going up, maybe you'll fight somebody who ends up paying, but for now, it seems fine. I guess that comes into the last and final point, potential. If you have the space and are looking for that, quote, next game to play, I think you're going to enjoy this, especially if you have a lot of time. The game has some potential, especially could even be the next LDOE, Last Day on Earth, or it could be the next Cyberpunk. I could really see it going either way, depending on what direction the game ends up taking, good changes or bad changes. I, for one, am very interested to follow it and see what changes end up happening to the game, whether it ends up taking that PC outrage or whether it ends up becoming the next big LDOE or even topping LDOE. I could totally see this game doing that. Obviously, there are going to be those players who really push the limits and who are just super professional already from the initial start, but I think that's a given with every single game you pick up. Now, I think, is especially the best time if you want to get into it, because all of the opening lobbies are going to be flooded with new players on both Android and iOS. From before, maybe the players who were really dedicated, who VPN'd over to download the app, had it, but now that it's officially released in the Americas, it should be much easier, and the lobbies are going to be flooded with a lot more new players. Especially now, with the lobbies so flooded, now is the best time to pick up the game, as you learn about stuff while everyone else is still learning about stuff, as opposed to you picking up the game when everyone else already knows stuff, right? Like, at least, that's the way I see it. So to wrap it up, if you're looking for a game that you just want something to do, yeah, I think this game is definitely going to fill those shoes, but if you're looking for LDOE or something like that, not so much. If you're looking for a somewhat casual experience, I suppose that works too. But if you're looking for the one-and-done, 2-minute match, I don't think that's what you're going to find here. And I suppose the last point is the one I want to leave it on. Will I end up downloading this game? Well, I already did, but will I end up keeping this game? Yes, I think I will end up keeping this game just to see where this game ends up going. Does it end up falling victim to the pay-to-win sides and that kind of argument, or will it become something greater, something truly, truly good that could potentially be the next big mobile game? That's what I'm interested to find out. Anywho, that's going to do for this video. I'm interested. Are you going to play this game? Let me know down below. Subscribe to this channel. Goal of 25k. Is it possible? I don't know. I've got some great LDOE videos, especially coming down the pipeline. So keep an eye out for those. Yeah, they're going to be really good. Trust me. Anywho, ZD out.